when you deal with the calendar, we have the print calendar and print calendar skeleton. So this skeleton just to show you what are the functions that you need to define. So in this case, we have the print month title, print month body, print get month name, get start date, and so on. Okay. And then we start from the beginning. What kind of function that you need to write? So in this case, because at the end I want to print the calendar. So the calendar requires the input, and then the calendar requires to print the month. And then I need to print the month title. I need to print the month body. So the month title just get the month name. For the body, we need to know when is the starting date, when will be the end of that month. January will have 31. February will have 28. But if it is leap year, February will have 29. So we need to determine the start date. When will be the start date? And then how many days in month? So we need also to determine this one. And if I know the start date, then I will check the total number of days, so we can get the number of days in the month. And we will check whether it is a leap year or not. So if you can get the idea to design this diagram, then you can make your calendar. Okay. So there are two kinds of approach. The approach that I show you is the top-down. Means we create the skeleton first. So we create the function. So we make the structure of the function from top to bottom. So I just create the function name without the implementation. And after we have the function name, so stubs can be used for the function waiting to be implemented. So a stub is a simple but incomplete version of function. A stub means this one. This is a stub. The stub just to show that I'm going to make a function print month. I have two parameters. I have two arguments, and I'm going to print month. This is another stub. I want to make a new function print month title, and there will be two arguments, and I'm going to print month title, and so on. So this top down, we can use the stubs enables you to test invoking the function from a column. So we can call the function later. And yeah, you can implement the main function first, and then use the stub for print month function. So if you look at the code, we have the main function. So the main function is the main to call all the function. At the first time, I would like to get the input. So what is the year? And then what is the month? And I want to print month. The month that I want to print is from the following month and the following year. Then if I check this print month, okay, so this is the print month, it will print month. And then you need to know what will be the next. If I have the print month, then I will print the title, I will print the body, and so on. So if it is only the skeleton, yeah, maybe you will just get the information, for example, 2001, and then let's say January. Okay, so you will just get the idea that you have many functions. After you know that, okay, I have this function, I have this function, I have this function, you can define the details. How to define the details? I can say that this is the bottom-up approach. The bottom-up approach means we need to implement one function in the structure chart at a time from the bottom to top. It means for every function, we need to test. We need to test whether it will work or not. So top down and bottom up is okay. It depends on you, what you want to design. And both approaches implement the function incrementally. And it helps to isolate programming errors and makes debugging easy. So if you already have the skeleton, if you have the skeleton like this, you can define what you want to do with the print month. If I look into the calendar, so I know the design, it starts from the print month, and I can print month title and print month body. If I go to the print month title, I would like to show only the title. What is the month? So the month means I would like to get the month. In this case, if month equals to 1, then it is January. If month equals to 2, it is February. If month equals to 3, then March, and so on. And I want to print the year. So the year is the argument. And then I would like to print the title, which is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. After I finish with the title, then I would like to print the body. So this is the next. Then the body will be this one. We have two parameters, year and month. The first time we want to do the statement of this body, we want to get the start date. When is the start date of this following year and this following month? You can get the start date. The start date, if it is January 1st, 1800, it is free. So we know last time we already learned, if we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay. So we have 7 days. You can determine what is the day. So if we set Monday is 0, then Tuesday will be 1, Wednesday will be 2, Thursday will be 3, Friday will be 4, Saturday will be 5, and Sunday will be 6. So it depends on your definition. For this one, we define the Sunday is 0, Monday is 1, maybe this one is Sunday is 0, and then Monday is 1, and so on. So the January 1st, 1800 starting from Wednesday. If we know that this is Wednesday, so we need to know what is the total number of days. The total number of days, we want to check what is the month and what is the year. So I would like to get the total number of days. If the year is leap year, then I would like to make the days is 366. But if it is not leap year, then day will be 365. And I would like to start the date from 1 until what is the month. So I can know that, okay, if it is the month, we can check from the January. This is January and February, March, April. So we can know if the month is June, then we can get the number of days in that day. So we can know if month equals to 1, or month equals to 3, or month equals to 5, or month equals to 7, or 8, 10, and 12 returns 31. So there will be 31 days. If it is April, June, September, and November, return 30 days. If month equals to 2, then return 29 if it is a leap year. If it is not, then returns 38. So that's the end. And then go to the calculation. You can just run this one, and then determine this 2001, and then let's say I have the January, then this will be the result. Okay. I give you another example how we can use the turtle, how we can draw with the turtle. So you can use the turtle functions. Use the turtle function. So in this case, I want to draw some line. And then I want to write some text. And I want to draw some point. I want to draw circle. I want to draw the rectangle. Now I can run this one. So I can run. So with the following code, so I would like to use all the function from the useful turtle functions. So it means I would like to use from the code that has been defined here. And then I would like to draw a line. So draw a line is the function. So if you press the control and then you click, then you will go to the function draw line. If you press control on the right text, then you will go to the function right text. And so on. So we can draw circle, we can draw rectangle, we can draw the point. And for example, the point have 2 parameters. Circle have 3 parameters. Rectangle have 4 parameters. Okay, so that's about the function. You can try and you can learn more how you can utilize functions. So in this chapter, you learn about functions, and you learn functions without written values. You learn about functions with written values and scope of the local variables. Okay, any questions about functions? Okay, let me continue to the next section. So this will be the last section before mid-exam. So your mid-exam will be until this part. So we are going to learn about list. What is list? So we are going to learn about the concept and the operations. And we are going to understand one of the implementation, which is searching on the list. So list. There is one kind of problem. Read 100 numbers. Compute their average and find out how many numbers are above the average. So how can we do this one? If you need to input 100 numbers, yeah, you can input one by one. Or let's say you want to make a random numbers. So you need to make with a random function. And then we need to compute the average. And then I want to check the numbers that are above the average. So let's see the example in the data analysis. So I give you the code. I give you the code in the e-class. There's a code chap 06. Okay. So you can open this one, key. And then you will see some of the code. You can copy this one. Okay. You can copy this one and then you can put on your project. So in your project, you can open the project in the Explorer. I think you already know. You can open in the Explorer and then you can go, what is your project name? In my case, the project name is Python project. And then you can paste the code that I gave to you, which is the chap 06. After you have those code, then you can refresh. So you can reload from this. So after you reload from this, then you will see the chap 06. Okay, any problems? So I will start with the data analysis. I would like to input 5 numbers. So just for simplicity, I will use 5 instead of 100 because you can input 100 numbers, but it will take time. So let me just use 5. And then I want to make an empty list. So this is the empty list. So a list will use the square bracket. So I want to make an empty list like this one. And then I make another variable which is sum equals to 0. I will do the loop for I in range number of elements. The number of elements, it means I have 5 elements. And then I will input those values. I will input those numbers. And every time I input those numbers, I will append. What does it mean by append? This one, I input into the list. So numbers is a list because it is using the square bracket. So I will input every numbers into the list numbers. and then I will do the summation from its input. After I have the input, I would like to check the average. So the average will be the summation divided by the number of the data. Now I would like to check the count. If it is already 5, then okay, let's finish. But I want to check how many numbers that are above the average. I know that there will be 5 numbers, and after I calculate the average, if the numbers in the index I is higher than the average, then let's do the count. So if I do this one, let's say, enter a new number. I will input 2. And then enter a new number. I will input 3. Enter a new number. I will input 5. I will input 7. And then I will input 9. So what will be the result? First, after you do the input, you will do the summation and then you will calculate the average. So we have 5 input. It will calculate the average and then it will count how many numbers that is above the average. So the average is 5.2. And the number of elements above the average is 2. We know that 5 is not above 5.2. 7 is above the 5.2. 9 is above 5.2. Then we will just count 7 and 9. So this code will give you how many numbers only without showing the numbers, without showing the 7 and 9. If you want to show the numbers, so you can just show the list and then let's say I will input again 2, 3, 5, 7, 9. At the end, I will print that the numbers now it is in the list. So the list, as I mentioned to you, it started with the square bracket and it will be ended with the square bracket. In Python, we can use a kind of array, and there are 4 collection data types in the Python programming language. First, it is list. What we already saw before, it is list. List is ordered and changeable. So you can change the value. It allows duplicate members. So if some data are duplicated, it is okay. Tuple. Tuple is another kind of array in the Python. It is ordered, but it is unchangeable. So you cannot change the value. It allows duplicate members. So the data can be duplicated. Set is a collection which is unordered and unindexed. So if you use set, the value will be not in the good order and there will be no index. And it is no duplicate members. Dictionary is collection which is unordered, so no order, and this is changeable, and we have the index. There will be no duplicate members, and we will start a key and value pair. For this course, I will focus on the list. Okay. But maybe after mid-exam, we will learn more about set and dictionary. So let's look at how we can create the list. Let me make a new file. Practice. Okay. So if I want to make a list 1 equals to list like this one. It means it is an empty list. Okay, so I want to print list 1. What is the result? It is empty list. Okay. We call empty list because it is a list but no element, empty. I can have a list 2, and I will start with list, and then I put the square bracket. Let's say I have 2, 3, and 4. And if I print the list 2, then the result will be 2, 3, and 4. It is inside the square bracket. A list can be any element. So let's suppose I have list 3, and I start with list, and then I want to define red, green, blue, and then I want to print list 3. The list 3 contains of 3 strings, red, green, and blue. I can also do the list with any other comments. For example, I have list 4 equals to list range 3, 6. What will be the result? The result will be 3, 4, 5. Okay. We know that if it is a range, it will be from the number, the below number which is 3, until this number minus 1. Okay. I can also do with list a string. Let's say A, B, C, D. What does it mean by A, B, C, D? It is a string. And when we create the list, it will be separated into the character. If we print this one, then it will print A, comma, B, comma, C, comma, D. So if I have another word, let's say Hanguk University, okay. Yeah, if I put longer, it's also available. Let's say this one. Then you will create every of the character. It's A, N, K, U, K, and then space, and then U, N, I, and so on. So the list will create every single character as the element. So here I mentioned to you, for your convenience, you may create a list using this syntax. Maybe the first time you learn how to create the list with word list, but actually, let's say I have the list 6. You can make this one as empty list. So this is the same. Okay, this is empty list. And if I have list 7, for example, I want to create 2, 3, and 4. So the result is the same. This result is the same with the first one. Okay. And then I have list 8, for example. I have the red, green, blue. Okay. Then, yeah, oops, this one 8. So we have red, green, and blue. So list is a sequence type. String and list are sequence types in Python. So a string is a sequence of characters, as you know, like when we type the Hanguk University, and we will have every character separately. So if we use string, it is a sequence of character. Okay? We can have like Hanguk University. But when we are using a list, it is a sequence of any element. Then it we have its, and then we have a, and then we have n, and so on. So it will be for every single character. There are some common operations for the sequence. So let's see one by one. We have S, suppose it is a sequence. S, let's say I have 100. And then let's check. Print n in S. So the result will be, let me close this. Print n in S. What does it mean by this one? I want to check whether there is a character n in the variable S or not. I can see there is one n. Then the result will be 2. If I check this one P, what is the result? It is false. Okay, I cannot find any P in the S. I can change this one into not in. Not in means it is the opposite. The result will be true. Why? I know B is not in Hantu. That's why it is true. Now I have S as Hanguk, and then I have S1. Let's say this is university. So I can do S plus S1. It is Hanguk University. If I want to print S for 3 times, then it will print Hanguk, Hanguk, Hanguk for 3 times. So this is the same with the 3 multiply by S. So it's the same. And I can check for every single character in the string with the square bracket. Let's say I want to know what is the element in the index 0 of the string. So I can get the element is it's. I want to know the element of index 8. What is the result? It is error. Why? In the string S, we have only 6 characters. It will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there is no index 8. That's why it is error. You can also check the string. I want to know the string from index 2 until index 5. Then this is NKU, because this is index 0, this is index 1, this is index 2. So the index 2 until index 4, which is NKNU. I want to know what is the length. The length of S, it means 6. Why it is 6? Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 characters. What about if I want to check the min? The minimum is 8. Why? Eight is 0. Anybody knows why? When I want to check the minimum of S, it returns 8. This is based on the ASCII number. If you still remember, last time I defined the ASCII number. The ASCII number, it will use the decimal number. Okay. Big letter A, big letter B, big letter C until Z. And then small letter A, small letter B until small letter Z. So if you look at this number, big letter has the smaller number than the small letter. So it's, what is it's? Here it's. It is 72. What is A? A is 97. So when we want to get the minimum, they will check this decimal number and it will return the most minimum. from this, that is case. So we can also check if we want to do the maximum. What is the maximum in here? It is U. Okay, because it is the alphabet that the last one from the string that we have in here. What about the sum? Sum means it will not work, because if it is string, they cannot change. So you need to have more functions. In this case, if your list is a kind of numbers, you can do the sum. For example, I want to sum the list 7. Okay. I want to sum list 7. Then I can get numbers. Okay. If the elements are integers or float, then you can do the summation. But if the element is string, you cannot do the summation. You can do also the minimum. Okay. You can check the minimum of list 7, it is 2. You can check the maximum of list 7, it is 4. You can compare the S and S1, but it will be more complicated to understand this one. Yeah, it will return false or true. S is greater than S1. So it will check from the beginning. Okay. They will check one by one of the characters. So because the character X is higher, is lower than U, so it is directly become. And yeah, you can do the for loop. Okay. For I in S. S is a string. So I want to print the I. So I want to print for every character in the S. S is Hanguk. So if you run the code, then you will get the HANKUK. And if you want to print it in the same line, then you can just put N like this, maybe with space, then you will get HANKUK. Okay. Okay, let me stop here. Let's have a break. I will continue after the break.